Hi, I'm Rob from Organic Fitness, and this is the top 50 exercises for maximising muscle and fat loss. Today I'm going to show you probably the best upper body exercise, or one of, called the overhead press, or sometimes called the shoulder press. It's an awesome exercise, unbelievable exercise for shoulder development and also recruiting those popular muscles, the rotator cuff muscles, so those muscles through the posterior part of our back, the ones that run across the back of our shoulders. Awesome for flexibility, especially the way that I'm going to show you how to do it. And it just creates a much stronger, more leaner and more muscular type of person, just because it does bring in so many different parts of the body in order to initiate the movement correctly. So I'll show you the setup. So the way I like to teach the overhead press is more of an Olympic style of lift, and the reason being is that it does improve flexibility a lot more than sort of your more bodybuilding type overhead press movement. Okay, and also I think that translates into better muscle mass gains through just bringing in more muscles throughout that full of range of movement. So to set yourself up, you want your chest touching the bar, feet about sort of shoulder width, just hip width apart, thumbs just next to your shoulders, elbows just in front of the bar. Wrap your thumb around the bar, chest up nice and tall. You're going to squat that up like a front squat, a couple of steps back, keeping that chest up nice and tall, spreading those elbows apart, and there you have your setup. So with the overhead press, it is a pretty complex movement in order to do correctly. So what I'll do is break it down really slowly whilst I'm performing it, and then I'll basically speed it up for a couple more reps. So once you're in that setup position, chest up nice and tall, elbows spreading apart, knees locked out, from there you're basically just going to slightly lean back, push the bar up, okay, just missing your nose. Once it gets to about eye level, then you can start bringing your body in front of the bar, rolling your wrist forward, and then from there that bar should be over the middle of your foot. From there you're just going to reverse the process. Just missing your nose, back down to your chest, elbows just in front of the bar, spreading apart. So being more of an Olympic style of movement, there's going to be far more flexibility that needs to be involved in doing this correctly. It does take time in order to be able to get that flexibility where those elbows are perfectly in front of the bar and the bar's not sitting in the fingers too much, really putting a lot of strain on the wrist. So there are a few cues that you can use in order to know that you're doing this movement properly, so you're not going to injure yourself and so you can get the most out of it. So at the top of the lift or throughout the lift, you want to be trying to think about using those rotator cuffs, okay? So really using those muscles that travel around the posterior part of your deltoid, so the back of your shoulders, and really squeezing those throughout the lift. At the top, you want to have active shoulders, and what that means is basically lifting up your shoulders and then pulling them together and keeping them contracted throughout the movement. You want to have that bar sitting about here, okay, the bottom of the palm, okay, and that weight transferring straight through the forearm, okay. You don't want the bar sitting in the fingers at all, especially when you're getting up to a lot heavier weights. Your hips throughout the movement, you don't want them tilting forward at all, okay, so you want to keep your glutes activated throughout the movement to really tuck your backside kind of underneath, so your hips aren't sort of tilting forward, that anterior hip tilt. You also really want to be making sure that you keep that chin parallel to the ground, looking straight ahead. You don't want to be looking up or looking down at all, and that's going to really help you to keep that bar nice and balanced. And at the top of the movement, we also want to be aiming to have that bar sitting straight over the middle of our foot, so basically cutting our body straight in half. So as I was saying, fantastic exercise for shoulder development, the best, okay, probably a better exercise than your actual bench press for sort of shoulder development, just overall benefits from the actual exercise. Really good for sport-specific stuff as well. So give that one a go. I'll guarantee you'll get awesome results out of that one if you do it properly.